The formal way of addressing female and male is 女士 and 男士. In Cantonese, 女士 and 男士. We know that 女 represents women and 男 represents men. But what does 士 or sĩ mean? Actually, 士 is not an easy word to translate in English. I'm going to do a series on words and phrases that don't have English translations. Feel like it's going to be a real challenge, but I hope you enjoy it. So before we begin, please take a moment and hit that like button. It really helps get our videos out there. And if you're enjoying this video, please share it with one of your friends so more people can learn traditional Chinese culture. When you look at the character 是, what does it look like? It looks like a cross on a hill or a mountain? Okay, 是 is actually a combination of the Chinese characters 十, 10, and 一, 1. In Chinese, numbers start from 1 and end at 10 because all numbers above 10 are a combination of numbers from 1 to 10. So it represents a well-rounded person who has sound knowledge, high morals, and can think independently. In ancient China, the word 士 refers to a special category of people who are neither officials nor laborers. Confucius explained that only those who valued morality, behaved according to the rules, and had the ability to achieve their mission could be called 士. Another thinker, Xunzi, not Sun Tzu, the Art of War guy, explained the term in more detail. A 士 participates in the governance of the state but follows moral principles rather than the orders of the king. If the king's order is in accordance with the way of heaven, he will defend it to death. But if the king is not in accordance with the way of heaven, then he will lead the world to overthrow the king. All this is contained in this simple character. Now, when you add the word 士 to certain words, it will mean you're the 士 of the field. It's also a respectful way to address someone. 学士, 学士 is a bachelor, not that bachelor, this bachelor. It's someone who has wide knowledge and could write books. 硕士, sexy, is master, and 博士, boxy, is PhD. 战士, 金sĩ, is a sergeant who can go into battle. 勇士, 勇sĩ, is a warrior who has no fear. Now that you know what 士 means, I'm going to go deeper and tell you a historical story and explain the phrase 士別三日,刮目相待,士別三日,刮目相待. At the end of the Han Dynasty, the world's heroes from all walks of life were fighting for the throne, and there were long years of war. Finally, 3 of the most powerful forces were left, and each set up their own country. The northern one was Wei, the eastern one was Wu, and the southwest part considered itself as a continuation of the Han Dynasty, so it called itself Shu Han. This period was known as the Three Kingdoms era. Dun dun dun! Come on, you've heard of the Three Kingdoms before. The great general of the Wu Kingdom, Lu Meng, was a learned and resourceful man. He once defeated the legendary Guan Yu in battle. Guan Yu was one of the most famous and outstanding warriors of his time. I'm sure you've seen his face before. Yeah, the red-faced guy. Now, before Lu Meng became the great general, he started out by following his brother-in-law to fight in the army when he was a teenager. So he didn't get to study much. He fought bravely and brilliantly on the battlefield though, so he was promoted to lieutenant general. One day, Lu Meng met Lu Su, the then great general of Wu. Lu Su was well known for his strategic plans, and after a few words with Lu Meng, he thought Lu Meng was shallow and unworthy. Lu Meng then met with Sun Quan, the emperor of Wu. Sun Quan said to Lu Meng, "Now that you are in a position of great importance and hold great power, you cannot afford not to study." Lu Meng's like, "Nah, I'm so busy with my military duties, I don't have time for study." "You say you're busy, but who can compare with the many tasks I deal with? I still study often and feel great gains." Lu Meng took Sun Quan's advice and began to study. His knowledge became more and more extensive day by day. Later, Lu Su, the guy who said Lu Meng was shallow, met Lu Meng again. He found that Lu Meng is a completely different person. Not only was he imposing and powerful, he was also very knowledgeable when he talked about the military, quoting the scriptures and the classics. Lu Su was surprised and impressed. He commended Lu Meng. "Now you are learned, courageous, and wise. You're no longer the brave but tactless Meng." Lu Meng smiled and replied, "士别三日，刮目相待." which means if a man doesn't see a 是 for 3 days, he will rub his eyes when he meets the 是 again. In other words, a competent person will change so much in 3 days, you won't believe your eyes. I'm guessing that since you're still here, you must love learning also. I find it so fascinating how every Chinese phrase and word has a deep meaning. Tell me in the comments what other words or phrases you want me to explain. I hope the next time I see you, it will be 士别三日，刮目相待. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.